Hello, my wonderful people. Maka Waka, thank you for the host. How are you doing this morning? I just wanted to quickly say that Sammy and I watched the clip that you shared with me yesterday of the streamer spotlight, and that was really good, man. I totally appreciate you doing that for us. And just keep it up. Like, don't worry about what other people think or even say. But if that's something that you want to keep up with, do it. Because you're good at it. Welcome in, Rook. How's it going, man?
My one suggestion is just move your mic away a little farther away from your face. That's right.
Yeah, Maka Waka?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were hearing like this kind of like tap in the mic the whole time when you were talking.
That's about all.
That's about it. Rook, how's the day, man?
Love the stream.
Yeah. We just got finished putting away groceries that we got delivered, guys. It actually snowed last night. And so we were like, well, we don't feel like driving into the city at all. So we got groceries delivered from a grocery store where they shop for you. And everything was really good. We got it delivered for free, actually, but typically it would only cost $4 to $6, which will actually save us money. In my mind, that makes sense. And then also, one other thing I was saying to Sammy is that's going to save on gas. Like, that is good. It's almost like ride sharing. Yeah, grocery delivery, right? Hey, Kev. I did get a new cam. Yeah, this was kind of part of the whole Christmas upgrade for the stream. So welcome back. So yeah, that's how this morning was going. It was supposed to arrive between 8 and 10. Got here at 9:30. I was a little bit worried because it did snow, and the driver actually said he was only going 40 kilometers an hour on the road this morning. So yeah, it wouldn't have been fun for us to drive. And everything looks really good. And we even got a bonus chocolate bar. Amazing. You noticed that too listening back. Perfect. That is so good that you actually go back and review your past videos. I used to do that too. It's like you kind of start to pick yourself apart, but you need to learn from that, right?
Hey, Rook, remember when Caitlin's audio was screwed up?
Yeah, Rook saved me. Rook literally made this stream. Took us from like mime Kate to like present day Kate. Thanks, Kev. That means a lot, man. I'm glad you noticed the upgrade right away because, I mean, that's me investing money for you guys. It's like everything that we make from the stream, we want to make this stream better. I'm not just going to take your money and be like, ha ha ha, thanks. It's not the most fun thing in the world. Yeah, Maka Waka. But it will make you'll learn and grow, and you'll just become a better and better person at what you do. Okay, so finishing off decorating our carrot cake today. Kev, your classes last week were all canceled because of the snow. Unreal. That's like a snow week. Except now what? You have to like cram all of that stuff that you didn't learn. Because that's usually what happens in post-secondary. It's like, well, there's no school, but you still have to get all this done. You're like, what? I don't even know how to do this. Okay, so we will be starting with decorating a carrot cake. We'll have to make some cream cheese icing and also some maple candied walnuts. So we made the cakes yesterday on stream. They turned out amazing. Well, at least they look amazing. I'm not sure. I haven't tasted them yet. But here's the recipe that we're using for that. One of like my favorite Canadian chefs. This is a recipe from his mom. And I've always kind of eyed it up. I'm a huge carrot cake fan.
Favorite Canadian chef?
Favorite Canadian chef other than Sammy?
AK. She didn't want me. She wanted Chuck.
That sounds weird though, because that's your dad's name. Sam. Come on now. Okay, anywho. We will start with that though. And I think I'm gonna have to get the mixer. Oh, for that. It was like 2 feet of snow, minus 22F. Okay, that is cold. Minus 22F. We are like minus 5C here.
9 right now, or it was in the morning.
Okay, so our frosting. Okay, we do need an electric mixer, so I'm gonna run and grab the KitchenAid for us. Reminder, it's gonna be loud for those of you with headphones. And we're gonna start by beating the cream cheese with some butter and icing sugar until it's really, really nice and smooth. You don't want lumpy cream cheese icing. It always makes me really sad when I'm out somewhere and whether it's like a cinnamon bun or a carrot cake that has cream cheese icing, when there's like little chunks of cream cheese, you're like, you didn't put enough love in this to take the time and make it properly. So we'll make that really smooth. And then we actually add orange zest and juice to it. That sounds really nice. Kind of gonna cut all that fat from the cream cheese. And then we will frost the cakes. And then for the maple walnuts, we have to bring maple syrup to a boil. And then we're gonna add the walnuts to that and just continually stir it until the syrup crystallizes around the walnuts and then it's really nice and crunchy on the outside. And then we'll just have to let that cool. So first things first, I'll go grab the mixer. We might have to soften up the cream cheese just a touch. But usually once it gets going in the mixer, it'll start to warm up and get a lot more smooth. You keep telling people Sammy and I are awesome. I so appreciate that, Makawaka. Like, Twitch is such a huge space that, like, even just one person like that telling one other person, like, it just kind of keeps going down the list, right? So, thank you so much. Yeah, Mordwin, he came in yesterday. Minus 30C. Yeah, that is not fun, Kev. I would be such a wimp when it comes to, like, actual cold weather these days. Okay, be right back. Going to grab the KitchenAid. Sammy, what are you doing? Got my workout, guys. Whew. DJ Tortillas, how are you? Sorry for your English. You're from Mexico. That's amazing. Welcome in.
Your parents are in Mexico?
Yeah, my parents just went there yesterday. They're on vacation. We're up in Canada. The Rabbit Thief, thank you for the follow. Welcome. That's great, DJ Tortillas. And guess what? Tomorrow we're making tacos on stream. So you can tear apart my taco making if you so desire. Or give me pointers. What part of Mexico are you from, if you want to say? I've only been there once, but I really, really want to go back. I love Mexican food. Okay, so our cream cheese from the capital. Cool. Mexico City. Ciudad de Mexico. great doubt about what? And do I know how to burp? Yes. I think every human does, whether they want to or not. Okay, so frosting, we need 500 grams of cream cheese softened. So let's measure this out. I cleared out the fridge upstairs because my parents were away. 3 different packages of cream cheese. It's like, let's just use up all of these and then start over with a fresh pack. And it's nice that this is by weight. Sammy's got some weird stuff going on here. He's making whipped cream. He's pulling this out. I guess the carrot cake just wasn't enough.
I completely forgot, to be honest.
Yeah, there it is. The truth comes out. He actually forgot that I made carrot cake. Okay. Okay, okay. How was the weekend, everyone? Who watched the Super Bowl yesterday? I did not. I'm gonna measure the cream cheese in this guy because we might have to put it in Chef Mike for a sec. You were too busy working on a project and played Cards Against Humanity online with some friends. You can play that online? That's pretty cool. That'd be fun.
Really?
That game is hilarious.
Made this for her today.
Oh god, I don't even know if I can eat that, guys. Is that sad? It's like as good as that looks. Oh goodness. Maka Waka, thank you for the 10 biddies.
It's good.
Maka Waka says it looks good. It's good, Sammy? He's testing it to make
It's
sure
not
I won't die.
Sully's.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, it's good. Hey, Lewis, how are you?
Lewis! How are ya?
You did it.
You would eat that so hard. I guess I did have a greens juice this morning, guys. I did have something healthy
I
at
figured
least.
it went well with the coffee.
Yeah, I am drinking a coffee, and I think that's the issue here, is it's suppressing my appetite too much. That's really cool, Kev, that you can play and, like, chat on Discord together. That's brilliant. Oh, goodness. Of course the scale had to go off, right? We will start over. We are well, Lewis. Things are good here. It's quite chilly outside. Getting a taste of a Canadian winter. This kid. Literal child. How are you, Lewis? Okay, so we only have 316 grams. We need 500 grams. Just need a little bit off of that brick. 316.
Give me a little nug of that white stuff.
Nothing can go off. You're doing pretty swell. Oh, you just got over a cold. Looking forward to a good February. Yeah. Seriously, hey, first month of the year gone just like that. That's insanity. How is it already February? Okay, so 316. That means we need 184. $121. This is gonna be cheesy. There we go. Finally. Okay, now we can quickly just put this in the microwave, like a couple seconds, just to kind of soften it up a touch. And then into the mixer, we'll get this set up. Does Omdog have good Valentine's Day plans set up? Here's the thing, Lewis. I'm working Valentine's Day. I don't know. Have we ever really had a Valentine's Day together?
No. Well, we've always worked together on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So we've always just worked together. So we don't really plan anything on Valentine's Day. We'll either do it like usually afterwards on our days off and celebrate it that way. But yeah, I think we're doing a 6-course dinner at the restaurant I work at for Valentine's night. So nothing crazy going on here for us. And that's just something that we've gotten used to. Obviously, being chefs is we're usually working those holidays that people get to enjoy. But that's the part that you have to love it, right? If you're gonna be stuck away from the people that you love cooking for other people, you better make sure that you love cooking and like make that the best dang food ever. Because just because you can't enjoy the day doesn't mean other people shouldn't either.
Also, make sure your partner understands that at the same time. So
yeah,
if you're in a relationship with a chef and he's gone for Valentine's Day, don't think it's a bad thing. Think it's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a date, right? It's just a date. If you do it 2 days after and just say it's Valentine's Day, well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Every day is special.
Okay, we're gonna have to do a little bit of camera switcherooing. We just have to lift it up, Sammy, and then kind of into the bowl.
Like what?
Lift this guy up a couple
I can't do that anymore.
inches. How come?
Okay.
He says it won't work, guys. But I say it will.
But you can also use your small camera. Listen to this one.
Oh, because you can't turn it anymore, or what? Oh no. That works. That's good. Yeah. We are now in the KitchenAid, guys. We are in there. So, cream cheese going in. I'm just gonna grab a spatula. Spatula. Yeah, 6 courses, Louise. Or Lewis. Wow, I'm always gonna call you Louise. With love. With love, of course. The menu is posted online. I haven't really looked at it yet. I know we're doing like duck confit. Don't really know too much else about what's on that menu. All I know is it's gonna be good. Luis. Luis. Hey, Big Davy, how are ya? Welcome in. Everyone gets it wrong, so no biggie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Oh snap, it's been a year.
Sammy, subscribed for 0 months in a row. What does that even mean? 12 months in a row. He's got that golden knife, guys. That is the 1 year sub badge. Amazing. Amazing. I cannot believe that we are here. The first one, of course, from my significant other. I'm gonna move that back just a touch. Okay, we need to add in, actually I'm gonna beat this up just a touch first before we even add in the icing sugar and butter. So anyone with headphones, or if this is on a little bit loud, this is gonna be loud. So just beware. We're gonna beat it up. Oh yeah, it's nice and soft. Okay, that's exactly what we want. Now 2.5 cups of icing sugar, that's a lot. So if you have diabetes, do not eat this. Or just make sure you take your insulin properly. But the icing sugar is gonna help keep the frosting nice and smooth compared to your typical refined white sugar. And I'm just gonna hope that I have that amount of icing sugar, because that's quite a bit. But I think we're good. Two and a half cups. Yeah, how are you at 0 months? You've been subbed for 0 months. Where's the measuring cup, guys? Clean in the dishwasher. Hey, Big Bad Wolf. I am working on a cream cheese frosting for a carrot cake right now. So we made the cakes yesterday on stream, but we had to let them cool overnight. Yeah, we're doing the cake first, and then we'll do the chicken, since it's only 10:30 in the morning here right now. And I don't think the chicken or anything related to lunch is gonna take too long. So just measuring out the icing sugar, guys. Ready? 1 cup. Ah ha ha. Do I bake or cook often? I do, Big Bad Wolf. Currently, I stream Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays. So I do brunch, lunch, and dinner on those days. And I usually like to cook and or bake something on each stream. And then in a couple weeks from now, we're actually traveling to New York and doing like IRL stream from there. We're visiting one of my viewers. Thank you for the follow as well, Big Bad Wolf. Uncle Stinky, how are you today? Great to see you.
Oh, yeah.
What? Zach PB with the 10 months in a row. Amazing. Thanks, Zach.
It must be delicious.
I think Twitch has a glitch. Everyone's saying 0 months. Okay, the last thing we have to add in here is half a cup of softened butter. And you know what's not in this icing recipe is some vanilla, and I really think that we should put that in. So we'll just put a drop of vanilla. I feel like something would be missing if we didn't. What is this madness? Hey, you guys? I keep baking or cooking and I have you. You've gotten hooked on these streams about cooking. I have been streaming for over a year now on Twitch. And we have a pretty awesome community, I will say that. So please feel free to stick around. I also do have a Discord channel where I post my recipes and stuff, so feel free to join in there. Uncle Stinky, you're snowed in. Yeah, can you please take your Arctic weather back? We are also snowed in. The snow came last night. We're not actually snowed in though. But it did stick on the ground, so that counts for something, right? Okay, just softening up this butter really quick. And then it's frosting time. We'll grab the vanilla. A hilly skating rink. I couldn't even imagine Uncle Stinky. There are some pretty crazy hills in Seattle. I would not want to be driving in that for sure. Just gonna break up this butter. In we go. So butter, sugar, cream cheese. That is your basic cream cheese frosting for carrot cake, cinnamon buns, etc. Probably one of my favorite icings, and I think that's because it's not too sweet. Because the cream cheese has a nice tangy flavor to it. Whereas I find most buttercreams are just like way too sugary. Now, like I said, just our drop of vanilla. Let's say a teaspoon.
Well, last night when I was supposed to come home,
Yeah.
it would have been pretty bad.
Okay, on we go again, guys. Be aware if you have headphones, please. Now you just gotta mix this until it's nice and smooth. Okay, so we need a cup of toasted walnuts. I'm gonna turn on the oven real quick. This is looking good. I'm gonna turn it up farther. Cool, whip it. scrape down the sides. Oh, yeah. It's still just a little bit lumpy, guys, so maybe a minute more of beating, and then we should be good. Scrape down the sides of the paddle as well, where it gets stuck and then doesn't touch at all. And we will beat it up again. Walnuts. Good, guys. It's like a touch of lumps in there, but I think we'll be okay. I'll give it a taste and see how it feels in the mouth. If you can feel those lumps, then we'll whip it just a touch more. I don't think it'll take too much longer. But if it kind of melts away and you don't really notice those lumps, then we're okay. Taste. Yum. Okay, the flavor is on point, but I will just whip it a touch more. Like I said, those lumps bug me. Hey Rach, how are ya? And Anchovy, welcome in, guys. Yeah, it must be lunchtime. We're decorating the cake first, and then we'll make lunch. So it's still a little early here. So cover your ears one more time. We're gonna just do this on full blast. So we didn't need the mixer yesterday to make the cake batter, but we did need the mixer today to make the frosting properly. But you could also use one of the handheld mixers as well. That would work. Sammy, can we put the camera back down together now? Please. So we were in the KitchenAid bowl. Now we don't have to be quite in there as much. Okay, you're just gonna do that. Just over a touch, please. This way. Perfect. We'll go in just a touch. Yep, that looks good. Hey guys. Okay, now we can take our frosting off of the paddle. It's nice and smooth. And at this point, the frosting is like kind of a nice room temperature because you're not going to be able to actually frost this if you make this and then put this in the fridge. This is going to firm up and get really hard, and then you're not going to be able to spread it really nice on the cake. So you always want to make the cream cheese frosting and then use it right away. Or if you have to make it ahead, obviously you just make sure that you have enough time to pull it out ahead and just let it warm up a touch. And that'll make your life a lot easier. Okay, so there we go. That's quite a bit of frosting as well, but we got 4 layers to make for our cake. And then I measured out our cup of walnuts, and I think I might just tear these or break these into just a touch smaller pieces. Something more bite-sized. Because this is going to be a garnish, right? So you don't want your garnish kind of awkward to eat. So just break it up a little bit smaller. You could also chop it roughly. But I like the way it looks when you just break it like that. Looks more natural. And then these are gonna go in the oven. So the oven is preheating right now at around 400 Fahrenheit. And then these will toast for maybe 8 to 10 minutes, I think. And then that way we're gonna get a nice nutty flavor from this. Because whenever you don't toast nuts, yeah, they're still good, but they don't have as potent of a nutty flavor compared to when you toast them. So always recommend toasting your nuts wherever you're using them. You'll just get a much deeper flavor. How did the carrot cake turn out? It turned out amazing. I'm gonna go grab those right now after I throw these in the oven. And then we gotta cut them in half, and then we can start to build the cake. And they only took about 40 minutes to cook yesterday. So not the full hour like I suspected though, just because my oven is a lot hotter, or it bakes hotter. Okay, we will set just a 5-minute timer. We'll do 5-minute increments to play it safe. Okay, heavy cakes. but they baked up really, really nice. So 2 separate cakes that we're gonna cut in half. So we'll have nice thin layers in between all of this lovely cream cheese frosting. And these will be a lot easier to cut if they are either in the fridge or even partially frozen is totally okay. So, cake turner. Not actually something that's super expensive to buy. I think this might have been $10. I got it at Michael's. The brand is Wilton. So kind of your typical baking brand that maybe even they have at Walmart or somewhere like that. You would like to see me make some incredibly unhealthy food? We've definitely done that before, Radiates. We made some dirty stuff on here, for sure. What do you have in mind for something incredibly unhealthy? I don't think I'm gonna put anything under the cake, but we will just be putting it onto a plate. Oh, hello, Mama. How are you today? How was your weekend? Okay, so now, obviously, being able to turn this is gonna help me kind of cut around. And I noticed that there's just a little kind of dip in the center of this cake here. Maybe if I do that, you'll be able to see. But I'll just have to be really careful when I get to the center because where that dip is, it's gonna get thin, right? And because of all the fruit and nuts in the carrot cake, that might actually pull apart. So we'll do this really slowly. And we also want to make sure that our layers are nice and even when we slice it. So you don't want one layer really thick and one really thin. Mama! Full term, 9 months, gone fast. Yep. We made that Twitch baby together. Thank you for the 9 months in a row, Mama. I can't believe it. Omdog just resubbed today for his 12 months, so feeling good, guys. Amazing community. Sack did 10. We're getting up there, guys. Seriously, blows my mind every time. You always tune in when I make healthy stuff. Aw, Radiates. Yeah, a boy or a girl. Churros or funnel cakes. Mmm.
Who you been sleeping with, your family, a boy or a girl?
Yeah, Mama Reagan.
This is so, I don't know what to say anymore, guys.
Okay, we're getting into it. This is the moment, guys. And serrated knife, okay? This is a must. So I'd always just kind of make my initial cut mark around the cake so that as I'm slicing it, I can kind of follow that because this blade is really long, right? So it could pose a challenge to trying to cut this nice and evenly. But in all of my times cake decorating, I find that this is the easiest way to start, is to kind of trace out your line. So there's that. Yeah, boy, less hassle and more loving. I wouldn't know. And now it should be pretty easy to just kind of slide your knife through the cake. Timer's going off. We'll just leave that in there. Nothing crazy happening to the nuts yet. We'll do another 5. We're just gonna toast those until they're nice kind of golden brown. And they should get a more nutty kind of aroma as well. So just kind of keep going around and around. Little piece of raisin fell out. I had to munch it, guys. just kind of hold this. Go around one more time. We're almost there though. I can see the blade going through this center part. Remember I said that it's gonna be risky. Okay, I think we are through. It's a little bit sticky in the center, but that's how I like it. So now, I think I'm just gonna get a plate. Your daughter turned 16 and thought the world owed her something. Her Jekyll came out. I was honestly probably the same way. I don't think I was that bad though in my teens. Definitely had a couple of fights with my parents, but I was always really busy with sports. Didn't have enough time to like be bad, let's say. Okay, so 2 spatulas is what I'm using to try and take this layer off. Let's check out how we did. Definitely a lot of fruit in there. Like chocked full of fruit and nuts. Pineapple, carrot, raisins, dried cherries, walnuts. Yum. It's fully cooked. I like when it's kind of a little bit fudgy in the center. So to me, that looks good. Now this one has a parchment under it, so I'll just stack that on top. And we'll get into the next one. Best part about decorating your own cake is you can munch and not feel bad about it. So this one is actually quite thin, this cake. I might actually just trim off the little bit of top part. So obviously I can tell that I didn't spread the batter in half when I divided it the 2 times that I baked it. So we're not gonna have even layers. And that's gonna bug me. So we'll just have, I guess, a little bit of trim from the top here. But we don't have enough height to actually cut it in half. So once again, just trace around the top there where we're gonna plan to cut it. Now we have our line, and now we can slowly go around again. We'll see though. I mean, I might still use that top part. See how I feel, guys.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Done and done.
New
What?
has created the Infinity Gauntlet by collecting their 6th ring last night. Look out, Thanos.
Look out, Thanos. 7 months in a row, Nike. Thank you so much, man. You guys are on it today with your resubs. She got grounded on her 16th birthday, mama, for her bad chat. You were the boss. I got in trouble at one of my birthday parties too when I was younger. I remember that. My dad got so mad at me. It was really awkward. Your sister was the same, Sam. The nuts are smelling nutty, guys. So that was 10 minutes. Toasting up. They are nice golden brown now. So now all we have to do, I'm gonna just let those cool slightly, and then we'll make the candied walnuts. But let's reveal this cake. Yeah, that piece is pretty thin, but this one looks really good as well. Feeling good about it. So now, I think I'm just gonna take the parchment off of this one, and then we can actually start decorating. So just be gentle. You don't want your cake to tear all that hard work. Might actually put that right onto the plate that we're gonna serve it on. So that way, by the time this is gonna be frosted up, this is gonna be really heavy and hard to move off of here. I think if we put the plate underneath first, might be a better idea.
Pizzas at a pizza village for $20 an hour.
Wow. Slide it on, guys. We might have to use the spatulas again. I don't trust it. Can you get a bite? Just wait till we're done frosting it up, mama. But yeah, honestly, this cake, the flavor of it, I think it's good even without the icing. But cream cheese icing is like my favorite thing ever, so I can't say no to that. I can't deny myself the cream cheese icing. That's like the best part of the carrot cake. Okay. So this is where we get an offset spatula. So offset because of that little part. It's really easy for spreading stuff. So we'll start with a touch of frosting in the center there. You can always take a little bit off if we feel like the layer is going to be too thick, but I think I want a pretty thin layer in between each one. So now, literally all we have to do is turn this, spread the frosting out with our palette knife. It looks like we'll need just a touch more. I'm not too worried with the amount we have. It definitely looks like we'll have lots. But it would definitely be a sad thing if we ran out of frosting for the outside. We're not making no naked cake today. And so obviously cutting your layers evenly is going to be a big thing here. And also spreading your frosting evenly as well. You don't want to cut your layers off center and then kind of have the cake start to fall over on you. Definitely seen that happen. Scary times. So you really want to get down, get kind of even. And now, hello Han Solo. We can put our first layer on. Like I said, guys, I don't want too thick of layer in between of the frosting, so next layer. And like I said, I don't think I'm gonna use this guy. We might use it for the top. Maybe that might be the best. And I'm actually gonna go in with this one next. Careful, don't wreck it. Gentle. Give it a nice little press. Make sure it's sealed onto there. Is she not gonna move? Yeah, it looks like an Oreo. Okay, they make carrot cake Oreos, Rach. And that flavor is actually quite good. Quite nice. Okay, let's put that back onto there. Next layer, guys. So obviously this layer, because it was the top of the cake that we baked, the sides kind of go down a bit, but we're gonna fill that in when we ice the outside. So don't worry about that too much. Yeah, it is an Oreo cookie, Nike. This ain't your typical Oreo. I have to say, this frosting spreads out really nicely too. Go, go, go. I wonder if bakers get dizzy by turning these cake wheels. So obviously if you can see the cake through the frosting, you just need a touch more, right? So you'll be able to tell where you need to top it up. And then once we get it nicely covered, that's where we kind of start to maybe take a little bit off, even it out. I feel good about that. You always mess this step up. Well, practice makes perfect, Hans. Do I have a KitchenAid? Yeah, I do have a KitchenAid. That's how we made the frosting. But the cake recipe didn't actually use a stand mixer, so it was really easy to make the cake. Okay, now, being really careful again, we're going to take the parchment off of this other bottom piece of cake. I might be able to move this with my hands. Feels good. Make sure the sides line up so that you don't have a cake that's going to fall over. And then once again, give it a nice kind of press down. Make sure it's sealed onto there. She ain't moving. Where do I get my recipes from? My favorite site for recipes is actually Serious Eats, the food lab. But otherwise, I get my recipes from a lot of places. I do use Food Network a lot. And maybe like the magazines like Food and Wine or Savor. But this is actually a recipe that I saw being made on TV a long time ago when I was still young and not really a chef yet, let's say. From one of my favorite chefs. So I'm finally making it now after seeing it being made on TV. So next layer. And I don't think we're gonna have a shortage of icing here. We will be okay. Oh gosh. I'm making a mess. Your favorite chef is Gordon Ramsay. I love Ramsay. And had the pleasure of actually eating at a couple of his restaurants. Really, really good food. Martin Bodrexel. I don't think I've ever actually heard of that chef. I'm guessing he's a European chef. Okay guys, so obviously need a touch more frosting. Oh, hello, Vune. How are you today? So all the way out to the edge, right, guys? Nice even layer. Just need a little bit more. You crushed your French exam today. Yay, congrats, man. Hans, he is German but studied in Canada for years. What? I need to look this person up after. Martin Bodrexel. Vune, things are good here, man. It did snow last night. Got some snow on the ground, guys. The impossible. It happened. Okay, that looks nice and even. So obviously you can kind of see like a raisin that's coming up through, but that's okay. Because that's on the inside. You're not really going to see that. But if that was on the outside that we were kind of finishing up, that's what we would not want. Ramsay is good, but his language is choice. That's fair enough, mama. He does swear a lot. Yeah, isn't his language for TV? Ah, Rach, yeah, you guys got snow as well. It feels good. I don't mind the snow. I know that my garden's okay. My dad built like a greenhouse cover for the garden boxes before they left, so I think that was like my biggest worry about the snow, and now that that's taken care of, I don't really care if it snows. And here you thought, yeah, all of Canada was buried under ice. Not true, Vune. It's not true. Okay, this is looking freaking good. That like big sploot of icing, oh baby. For $250 a session, you'll pretend to be a couples therapist, tell your girlfriend she's wrong on everything. Nike, where did you come up with this? Coffee, gone, guys. We are now energized. So once again, starting on the top, and then we'll kind of just let the icing fall on the sides, and then we'll clean up the sides. Yeah, we're tired of living. That's exactly it, Vune. Time to get creative. How to make money. This is gonna be a heavy cake. You're happy your boys created the Infinity Gauntlet last night. Amazing, dude. That was a pretty close game, wasn't it? I mean, I don't really ever watch football, but 13-3 sounds quite intense. Okay, so our top layer, pretty important here. Because we're going for presentation now. So we don't want to see the cake through this layer, obviously. We want it nice and smooth. So because of the way that this top layer is it kind of falls down on the sides again, right? So just kind of have to bump it up, I think. If we have that much frosting. If not, though, we can hide it with some of the pecans. Or walnuts, sorry. Maple candied walnuts to the rescue! Or maybe we'll just have to let it kind of fall naturally like that anyways. So keep going around and around. Now it's like kind of just falling over it. So now I'm putting the frosting on my palette knife. We're gonna start spreading it on this way. So on this side. You can totally make it messy at first, so we can always smooth it out afterwards. This is the fun part, guys. It should not be the stressful part. Just take your time. Everything good takes time. Stinky, yeah, you're snowed in and low on alcohol. The worst. What is life even? Almost there. We almost got that full coverage. And then we'll have to clean up the bottom of the plate, I think. That's amazing, Vune. She already has commissions booked 3 months in advance. That's brilliant. Yeah, if you want to be like an entrepreneur and work for yourself, literally the only thing holding you back is yourself. And once you realize that, it's like, wow. Like, why am I wasting my own time? It's like, if you want to start something, start it. And then everything will kind of fall into place. If it's meant to happen, it will happen. But no one, like, it's a rare occurrence for people to get, like, big overnight, right? Because you got to put in that time and the work to get where you want to be. Okay, now that I know we have enough icing on the sides, now I can top up the top part. Make it a touch more even now. I don't really hate the slope of it though, like the little dome that we have going on. It looks actually pretty nice. But we might as well use all of this, so. You're slinging business ideas. I don't care, Vune. Why are you sorry about that? I don't really have any rules in my chat. Other than no profanity. So, start in the center again, and then we'll work our way out. Hopefully get a nice kind of more square edge. Pull that over. Put that back up to the top part. So guys, obviously we can now see why like decorated cakes cost so much, right? There's a lot of time and effort involved in making a perfectly decorated cake. Okay, so now we're all the way out to the edge. Clean that extra frosting off. Now we can do the sides. So, slow and controlled. I have the bottom of my spatula right on the plate. And I'm just kind of barely touching the sides. Because we don't want to scrape too much icing off. We just want to even it out. Might have to go around a couple times. Going, speed it up a little bit, keep that motion. I'm just kind of bringing the spatula up as I turn it. Any parts that you see are a little uneven, you can put it back down. Just this one part over here on the top. Okay, one more time around. Dang, guys, that's pretty smooth. I'm quite happy about that. Whew. You're a caricaturist? Oh, I know. The fact that I haven't licked any of this frosting off Vune, that says something. Okay, so I'm gonna touch up these sides. Kind of hanging over. And we could also do like a little swirl. So keep your spatula on the outside, and then as you turn, kind of bring it closer to the center. Like that. But now that we did that, guess what? Our top little edge came back up. This is gonna be our final spin though, I think. We have to call it quits at some point, right? Otherwise we're just gonna keep being like, oh, this needs fixed. Oh, okay, we need to fix that now. So now I'm just gonna wipe around the edge of the plate. We got to make our candied walnuts with maple syrup. Minnie Key, thank you for the follow. And we'll put the candied walnuts on top and then probably chill this before we cut into it. If we cut into this now, because the cake has warmed up and the frosting is warm, it's just gonna kind of smoosh out. So we need to firm this up a touch, put it in the fridge for, I would say probably at least half an hour. And then we'll get a nice smooth cut when we go to cut into it. So let's go over to the stovetop real quick. We have to bring half a cup of maple syrup to a boil. And then we toasted 1 cup of walnut pieces already. Maybe that pan's, or this pot's not the best one. Maybe something more shallow. So I guess actually, put the cake in the fridge right now while we're waiting around. We don't need our turner anymore. Just going to the other fridge, guys. Okay guys, I'm here. The coffee bathroom break snuck up on me. So, we'll do like a nice medium-high heat to get this maple syrup going. This music is like honestly one of my favorite live channels on YouTube. It's called Chilled Cow. It's called Chill Hop Music. But the channel is Chilled Cow. And it always plays live, so you don't really ever get ads or anything like that. It's great. Okay. Half a cup of maple syrup. Into the pan. So we're gonna bring this to a boil and then stir our walnuts in. And then the maple syrup's actually gonna start to crystallize. So we'll have like nice kind of sugary, crunchy coated walnuts. You have Chilled Cow's lo-fi study music on when you study. Yeah. Sammy, you actually commented on that this morning. He's like, I love the animation to this channel is like just having the cat there and like the person writing. It's perfect. Super relaxing. this away. Actually, I think I need to wash it up. We made a mess. And the last little garnishy thing for the cake, guys, is just gonna be some orange zest for the top. But we'll do that once we have the walnuts already on there. This shouldn't take too long though to boil and caramelize the newts. Yeah, for comforting, exactly. Exactly. And then it's lunchtime, guys. We're gonna start making some lunch. Okay, it looks like we're coming to a boil. So what is the exact direction here? In a skillet, bring the syrup to a boil, add the walnuts, stir continuously until the syrup has crystallized around the walnuts. Pour onto a baking sheet and let cool, and then garnish the cake. Okay. Yeah, you thought the cake was for lunch. Love it, mama. Okay, we're definitely boiling. Put the nuts in. And stir. Stir, stir, stir. I don't know about this, guys. Not really caramelizing. We'll be patient though. I mean, the recipe's from a Canadian chef. He should know what he's doing with the maple candied nuts. There's a level of trust there. Okay, we're just gonna let that do its thing for a sec. I'm just gonna pour these onto parchment paper. On the cutting board. Okay, stir. Oh yeah, it looks like we're getting there. Maybe I poured the nuts in just a touch too early. Yeah, of course you'll do awesome, Nike. Okay, now we can see that the liquid is evaporating from the maple syrup. There's less and less in the pan here. So it should start to crystallize around the nuts now. They're getting stickier. We're almost there, guys. Let that cook out maybe a minute or two more. Okay, I think that's good. So now I think that the nuts are getting to the point where they're almost going to be too toasty. So let's come over here Pour the nuts out. Kind of spread them out, right? As you don't want them to stick together as they cool. So quickly spread those out a bit. But you could always break them up with your hands after as well. Woo! Careful touching the sugar. It's hot. It will stick to your skin and burn you. So obviously maple syrup, really easy way to make a quick caramel. Like, look at that. It looks so good. Get off. I'm not planning on chopping them up too much, Mama. I kind of tore them up beforehand, but I like these nice bigger pieces of nuts for sure. When you were still learning English, you asked an American colleague of yours what the expression "these nuts" means. Yeah, can we just eat these nuts as is? I love the sheen on them. They're really, really shiny. Usually it like crystallizes a lot, so it's not super shiny, but maybe it's the different maple syrup. So we'll let those harden up. Finish decorating the cake. Put it to chill in the fridge. And then we'll get into it after lunch, I think. Let's soak this pan that has the caramel in it. Otherwise, that's going to be a pain to wash. Stuff on sugar. Yeah, yum, hey?
Oh, yeah.
What? Box fetish.
Hey, Sammy and Chef.
Thank you for the 3 months in a row. How are you doing today? Wow, so many resubs today. This is the best, guys. I think this is the 5th or 6th. So, Vyun, do you actually not know what the saying "D's nuts" means?
Kind of functional power available to people in a smaller box with a much smaller price tag. It actually kickstarted a revolution in making music.
Oh, yeah.
Vyun!
Soon.
With the Prime resub, 11 months in a row! Yes! Sammy just had his 1 year today. I think other than myself, he's the only one in chat with the golden knife. You still don't know what these nuts are. Sammy, how should I explain this properly? I mean, I don't really have nuts. But, okay, so when someone says something about nuts, and a guy's like, "You mean these nuts?" It's like you're talking about a guy's nuts. And that's the joke. Really, that's about it. Yeah, you arrived just in time. Oh, did you see when I pulled this apart? Oh, man. But I'm a girl. I've definitely used that expression before. So you did know, but you weren't sure. You're welcome for the clarification. Yes, ha! Yeah, some caramel nuts. Suck on those nuts. Just gonna keep pulling these apart, and then that means that they're gonna cool off faster as well. I guess, since we're in the minus centigrades outside, we could always post them up outside, and then they'll cool off real quick. Lickety split. I love the way these are looking while I'm pulling the caramel apart. Yeah, big bad wolf. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did use it right, Vune. What nuts? These nuts. You guys are the best. Okay, I think I might actually post these up outside. We'll just slide that onto a sheet pan. I'm not wasting any more time today. Yeah, these nuts ran for president. Ah! She wasn't watching. You mean those nuts? Now we can't even use those nuts. Three pieces. I'm not scared. Okay, let's put these in the blast chiller, aka outside. The blast chiller, guys. Okay, so quick.
Remember when that bear came in the backyard?
Yeah, we have to be careful leaving stuff out there. Otherwise, usually wildlife likes to get into it. And you mean the nuts, and not nuts. The bear might come, Vune. Okay, so here's the recipe for the chicken for lunch. So I know it says chicken legs, but we got drumsticks instead. So they're gonna cook a lot quicker. Probably about half the time. It actually said to marinate the chicken for 1 to 2 days. We're gonna do no marinade and see how it turns out. We'll do like a quick marinade and then bake them, but definitely not the 24 hours, right? We should have done that yesterday.
You know, anyone saying they want to go out with you is pretty great, isn't it?
So add all of the ingredients to a bowl, apart from the wine and date molasses. So garlic, red wine vinegar, olive oil, olives, capers, dates, and bay leaves. Interesting. Yeah, 1 to 2 days. Who's got time for that? I'm bad though. I should have read the recipe closer ahead of time, because then the chicken would have been perfect. Okay, so let me get that stuff out. And then going along with this, so saffron rice, which will only take about 15 minutes to cook, so really quick. And then we're just going to saute some of this amazing squash that I picked up a couple weeks ago. I've let it kind of ripen up outside of the fridge for the last couple of weeks, so it should be nice and sweet at this point. This was grown locally, so Saanich Peninsula, that's kind of up island from us. The sweet dumpling squash. So this type of squash, when the skin is like this, it's really nice and thin. We can eat the skin, guys. So we're just gonna give this a nice scrub on the outside, but we don't have to peel it at all. So easy. So let's get out our chicken ingredients first though. Keep the squash aside for now. So 5 garlic cloves. I think we're gonna make about half of this amount. Let's do, obviously, oh gosh. Oh gosh. This garlic, Deerfield. This is the variety. This is from Sam's mom. And it might be really small cloves, but they're usually really potent. So I'm gonna go with 3 cloves of that. There is no fresh oregano here right now. So we'll just use half the amount of dried oregano. Hey, iShotBo, how are you doing? Red wine vinegar, olive oil. You could also use some sherry vinegar if you didn't have red wine vinegar, but you do want something nice and dark, right? And then olives and capers. But I have some feta stuffed olives. I think those are going to be amazing roasted with the chicken, and also some calamatas with the pit in still. But when we roast those up, they're going to soften, and it'll be really easy to take the pit out after. And then just a couple of bay leaves, it says. And I might add something a little extra to this, which is going to be some preserved lemon. I think that's going to be really, really nice together. So anything like kind of Middle Eastern in flavor is always a great place to use the preserved lemon. What am I preparing? Hey, Louise. I am right now preparing a marinade for chicken that we're gonna roast up for lunch. But coming up real quick here is I think I'm gonna go check on our candied walnuts, and we're gonna finish off this carrot cake. Then we can just keep moving right along, because I don't want to get my hands into this savory stuff before we finish off dessert. Just gonna wash up my hands. I'll go grab the cake and the nuts, and then we'll let that chill while we finish making lunch. That way we'll get a nice clean cut later on. No bears in the backyard yet, so we're okay. When your nuts sound like rock hard candy, you know you're good to go. So now we can break them up. They won't really stick together. Look at that big piece. So maple candied walnuts, guys. Half a cup of maple syrup boiled in a pan with 1 cup of toasted walnuts. I think pecans would be lovely done up this way as well. Maybe almonds you can try out. Yeah, just the sound of them, hey? So crunchy. Okay, going to grab the cake, and then it is go time. Ta-da! There it is, guys. So the directions for decorating is just to pile up the walnuts in the center of the cake. So we got 4 layers of cake in here with cream cheese frosting. And obviously this is where we have to be aware of how we're dropping the nuts on here because we can't move them afterwards. Otherwise it's gonna leave a mark, right? Yeah, Yoon, that happened yesterday. Some interesting times, as always. So I don't think I'm gonna go out too much farther than this. I'm not gonna spread the walnuts on the whole top of the cake. Just like make a nice kind of circle in the center here. I think that looks pretty even. Ah, I touched it. Maybe a touch more on this side, hey?
Mama Reagan, that's awesome.
Aw, thanks, Big Bad Wolf. You think I should just post that cake to your house? Yeah, I don't think I'll like it, Mama. Maybe I should let you try it out. I've never had a carrot cake like this. Like, yeah, there's always been, like, walnuts in it. But never candied with maple syrup as a garnish. I thought you guys would really enjoy this as well. I was like, this is something that we've never done. And National Carrot Cake Day. Just give us a reason, right? To make carrot cake. And we will make it. I think that's good. Pile it up a touch more in the middle. So obviously when we cut this, is we'll have to give a little bit of nuts with each slice. Because that's not going to stay there to cut it. Okay, and now just to finish, we're going to brighten things up a bit with just a little bit of orange zest. And this is where you can also create some color contrast, right? So let it fall onto the icing. Keep in mind, orange zest, pretty strong flavor. So don't go too crazy. But it's not like we're putting it throughout the cake, right? Because we're just putting it on top. So that flavor is going to be more concentrated to just the outside. Just do a little bit at a time. Knock it off. Do a touch over top of the nuts. And there we go. Quite happy with that. Oh goodness, guys. What have we made? That's exactly what I said, Mama. I was like, so Sammy's gonna do housewife duties then. Okay, this thing is heavy. Like, if we weigh this... Okay, let's weigh this right now. Because I have another plate. My guesstimation, we're gonna go by pounds. let's say without the plate, of course, is we're gonna zero it. Probably close to like 6 pounds. Yeah. It's definitely more than 5 pounds. Sammy has to guess. No.
I'm gonna say 6 pounds, 12 ounces.
Okay. The scale is ready.
Oh.
5 pounds, 6.8 ounces. If you eat this whole cake, you're probably going to the hospital. Your stomach might explode.
So basically 5.5 pounds.
Yeah. 5.5 pounds. I don't think that's a dare view. I don't want you to go to the hospital. But holy shit. The sheen on those nuts, guys. I like the way that we swirled the icing on top. Okay, so going into the fridge, we're gonna chill this so that when we cut into it, it's not just gonna fall apart. We need to firm it back up since it's been out while we were decorating. Now it's lunchtime. 2.46 in kilograms. Thanks, Moss. Thank you for the conversion. Okay, so chicken time. Might just do a quick marinade in a bag, guys. Back in your day, you walked through snow to quit a job in person. He didn't quit. Let go via text message. That's not very grown up. Let's get our chicken. We'll put that into the bag first. What is ounces in weight? Like if you drop it into a bath, how much water will it push out or what? I don't know, Moss. I honestly am not the right person to ask that. Obviously, in Canada, we use the metric system. So guys, free run chicken, raised on family farms. No antibiotics or hormones, that's what we want. I think Sammy will eat maybe 3 of these. I think I'll cook 6. Then we'll have 3 left over. Yeah, is this locally sustainable and gluten-free? Your mom was just trying to FaceTime me, Sammy. Just so you're aware.
Probably tried to phone my phone and it's not working because I don't have it.
So now you have to go back and get your phone?
I have to get my shoes and stuff too.
Oh, okay.
What about driving there today?
No. Okay, so marinade time. I'm just gonna post up the chicken beside the board so we don't waste space here. So I'm gonna start with the liquid stuff. So 1.5 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, as well as 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. So that's where we're gonna start. So the red wine vinegar, that is actually gonna help to break down the chicken. It's gonna make it more tender. And obviously it is gonna season it as well. A little bit of acidity. The olive oil is gonna coat it, keep it moist. And now our garlic. We'll get our oregano in there. So it says 15 grams of fresh oregano. I don't have any fresh oregano on hand. It's not growing outside right now. And I'm not gonna go super heavy on this because dried oregano, twice as strong as fresh oregano. So I think maybe a teaspoon will be lots. This flavor can really overpower something delicate like chicken. So we want to kind of take it easy to start. You can always bump it up a little bit afterwards, but such a strong flavor, you want to be careful. Okay, our garlic. Just give it a quick smash so that we can peel it easier. And then we'll just mince it with our garlic press. Break it down. Sammy has a telephone. So Sammy left his telephone at work. Luckily, his watch can connect to his phone while we're at home. But he still has that at work. Yeah, his phone. He forgot his phone at work. So in all this time that this is happening, he's been dealing with this on his Apple Watch. And like these people are just sending him massive messages, like literal novels. I've not even written text messages that long. It's like, who deals with that stuff over text message? That's like embarrassing. When will he get his stuff back? I don't know, Vune. I guess probably Wednesday when I go to work. Okay, we're gonna mince our garlic into our bag. So this is where we're at so far. Yeah, I can tell by the smell of these little garlic cloves, they are potent. This is homegrown garlic from Sam's mom. Press that down, get the last little bit. Once again, garlic, really strong flavor. You don't want to overpower it too much. But when garlic is cooked, it gets more mild, so keep that in mind. Our bay leaf, I'm gonna tear that into a couple pieces just to let more flavor out quickly. Capers. You guys ever had capers? If you guys know the flower nasturtium, it's an orange flower. These are the buds that are pickled in a salt brine. So salt brine, obviously salty and acidic. If you use too many of these, it will make your food overly salty. So now we have to be aware of how much salt we will end up putting into this, right? We will actually use a touch of juice for marination as well, because that's also going to help break down the chicken. I'm going to go with like a good tablespoon of these little guys. And because they're so small, I'm not going to break them down any further. Touch of the brine. Now our olives. So we'll do half and half, some Kalamata, some feta stuffed. I don't know if the feta is gonna melt out when we go to roast this later. First time ever making this recipe, so it's also new for me. But once again, olives, another kind of salty, briny ingredient. And because we're roasting this, probably gonna lose some moisture from the olives as well, so they're gonna concentrate with a stronger flavor, more salt. Is it 12 p.m. here now? It is. It is Vune. There we go. And now, our little bit of preserved lemon. I've never put olives into a marinade, guys. This is intriguing to me. Very intrigued as to what's gonna happen next. Now, we're just gonna chop up our preserved lemon a touch. Octrix fell in love with Perfect. He lives there now. Oh no. We lost him? He's never coming back, dude? I'm actually gonna get a little cutting board to put this on so that it doesn't stain my board. What's up, Sammy? We lost Optrix to Perfect. Yoon says he'll make him come back. You love those garlic and pepper stuffed giant olives, right? Yeah, garlic, peppers. These ones are feta, so there's cheese. Yeah. Jalapeno. Ooh. Yeah, spicy olives. He's coming back. Hey guys, preserved Meyer lemon. So literally just salt. Salt, room temperature. Preserved these lemons. These were made in December of last year. How crazy is it to say that? So obviously another kind of salty thing, right? Oh, I should have pushed that back down. But also kind of some acidity there, as well as some nice bright flavor actually from the lemon. Because even though it's salted and preserved, the lemon flavor is still quite nice. We're gonna cut this pretty small. So obviously you can see that we have the skin here as well. That's where most of your nice bright lemon flavor is gonna come from. If you find any seeds, take those out. These are really popular in like Mediterranean and Middle Eastern food. You might be able to find them at your local supermarket, depending on how much variety they carry in the store. But otherwise, they're really, really easy to make at home, guys. 2 ingredients: lemons, salt, and thyme. So a nice fine chop there into the bag. Thyme. No, not that time. T-I-M-E. take about a month to fully preserve. But I think you could put some thyme into there. Yeah, lemons, salt, and a clock. Okay. It says also use some salt and a good grind of black pepper as well. So I'm gonna go light on the salt here. But we will get a couple of nice grinds of black pepper into here. Like a pinch of salt, maybe a half teaspoon. Should be more than enough. Now, there's all our goodies in there. And close it up. And we'll just do a really quick marinade on this. Try and get as much air out as possible. And now we're gonna do like a little shake and bake thing where we massage the chicken with the marinade. Get it evenly covered. So this is why I used this plastic bag, right? So obviously us just dumping all of that stuff in the bag didn't really get an even dispersal of the ingredients. That looks good now. Trying to push it all together. Get a more even marinade that way. And we're gonna leave this out at room temp because we will be roasting it off. Too sweet. But that looks really nice. Can I vacuum seal the bag? Yeah, I totally could have vacuum sealed it and that would actually marinate it even quicker. Great idea, Box Fetish. Yeah, and it is totally wise putting the salt in it. You really do want to season your meat ahead of time. Okay, gonna put a couple of these things away. And then while this marinades, we can prep up our saffron rice and our squash. And I think I want to pick a little bit of greens from the garden, so... Oh, actually I can't, because they're covered. That's a lie. I cannot pick any greens from the garden, because they're nailed down by being covered for the snow. Let's see what we have in here.
There's a little bit of lettuce upstairs.
I do have a little bit of mustard greens still, guys. I think I'd be okay with that. We forgot, though. I know, right, Box? It's like, oh yeah. This plastic is literally screwed down, so there's no way that I'm getting into the garden box.
No.
Keep that in mind.
Not for the next couple days.
Yeah. Okay, squash time. We are going to cut this up. I'm gonna set 15 minutes to marinate that chicken. And let's also preheat the oven at this time. So I think I'm gonna go nice high heat, like 400 Fahrenheit. And then by the time the oven is preheated, the chicken should be marinated for that 15 minutes. We'll just have to spread out that chicken on a large tray along with all of the marinade ingredients. It actually says we have to whisk together some white wine and molasses But I think I'm gonna go with the palm syrup. So it says date syrup or treacle. I'm gonna go with pomegranate molasses. So still something that's fruity. And then go from there. And guess what? We didn't actually add in everything. We forgot the dates, guys. How could we forget that? That's the sweetness that we need to cut all of that salt and acidity. So real quick. Medjool dates. Really, really sticky. I think this amount would be perfect. Just give those a little chop, I think. It actually says just quarter it lengthwise. That's not too hard, is it? You don't have to chop them up too much. And then I'm gonna say this chicken probably gonna take 15 minutes in the oven. Maybe 15 minutes cooking, 10 minutes resting outside so that we keep all those juices intact. How could we forget the date? Yeah, we are sticky. Sticky icky.
Hoo-wee. Put it in the air.
Scandalous. You guys are scandalous, all right. It's already getting juicy up in there. Throw those dates in. You didn't watch the game. Neither did I. Neither did I, guys. Okay, so like I said, the skin on this is edible, so I'm just gonna give this a quick wash. It looks a little bit dusty. We don't know where it's been, but we're not gonna peel it. Rub-a-dub-dub. And I've also never cooked this type of squash before, so once again, new thing for me and you. So that coming off really easily tells me that this squash should be nice and ripe. Nice and sweet on the inside. That's how you test it. Yeah, there's no squash emojis. How are we going to survive, iShot? I'm going to go right in half. go, guys. So we got some stuff to scrape out. Yeah, the pumpkin, that'll do. That'll do, iShot, that'll do. So scrape the pulp and the seeds. It kind of even smells like a pumpkin. Which would make sense, right, guys? But usually the squash doesn't smell this squashy. Hopefully the name doesn't let us down, guys. Sweet dumpling squash. I can definitely confirm that that's what kind of reeled me into buying this. I was like, sweet dumpling? That sounds delicious. I have to try it. I mean, this half squash is probably going to be enough for us, so I might actually just pack this away. Just going to put a piece of saran over this. I'm not even going to scrape it out. And this will stay in the fridge for like a good week or so. I don't think I'm going to bake all this. It's just not necessary. Do I save the seeds from a squash like people do with pumpkins? I don't usually. But yeah, you could totally bake them up and eat them. Not quite sure how these will taste, to be honest. They're quite small. Okay, so now we can cut it up. And I think what I'm going to do, obviously this stem part here, just gotta carve that out because that's really hard. As you can see, my knife doesn't even want to go through it. Take that out like that. Because that can actually chip your knife blade. If you try and cut through that, not good things will happen. And now, so see how the shape is? I'm going to cut this side off and this side off. Probably around there, I think. Nice. Now our underside, I think it's around there. Perfect. And now we have that. I'm just gonna trim up this part a touch because it's really thin, so it's gonna cook super quick. So trim that out. And now, so I think this size is gonna be nice. So we wanna keep this nice and bite-sized, right? Just peel off that touch of skin. So this we'll cut in half this way again. Want to keep everything consistent. So that looks pretty consistent as far as thickness. And now I always like to turn this way and make your cuts like this. This is how I usually break down a squash at work, guys. I find that this is the easiest way. You get the most consistent cuts. So now we have stuff that looks like that. This, we're gonna cut down further. Make your lengthwise cuts. And now, you can start to cut our pieces of squash. So like I said, nice and bite-sized. They will break down a touch as they're gonna shrink a little bit as they roast in the oven. These little things, I think I'm just gonna cut in between all of those pieces and then cut in half or thirds. And what happens to the skin on this, guys, is it usually gets nice and crunchy and crispy, golden brown. So break it down that way again. Push it so your blade is even. I think this piece I'll cut in half. This we'll put into thirds. Like, we're gonna have a lot of squash here from just this half. And now these pieces, so they're pretty even in shape. I'm gonna go a little bit longer with these, right? So we can make thinner slices. Just go like that. Obviously it's more efficient if you do two at once. Those pieces can go together. We'll do these guys. Yum. Okay. 1 minute on our timer for our chicken marination. So let's switch back over to that. This looks so good, hey? Push our squash over there. So, our sheet pan. Line this with some parchment paper. I have a feeling things are gonna get sticky now with our dates and that pomegranate syrup and wine. Sheep pan. The sheep pan. Oven's gonna beep. We're ready. So, some white wine. So, we didn't put the white wine in with the marinade because this can actually start to cook the chicken. So that's why that's put in at the end. So we're gonna mix this white wine with a little bit of pomegranate molasses. So 1 tablespoon of wine. That's not much at all. 30 mils. It's after 12 now, guys. We're allowed to break open the wine. So about a tablespoon. This is a Pinot Grigio, so kind of midline for sweetness and acidity. Quite balanced. And about a half tablespoon of this pomegranate molasses or date syrup or treacle, which is like a European thing. We can't really find that here. That's a tough one. So it says just mix these two things and then pour it over the chicken once it's on the sheet pan. And I'm guessing that as this stuff cooks together, this is gonna reduce a bit, make like a nice sauce or a glaze. And we're actually gonna baste this. Okay, so about halfway through the baking, we're gonna baste this. So pour the whatever sauce is on the pan back over the chicken. Chug the wine. I think things would get messy in here if we went straight into the wine. Wow, that smells amazing already, just in that 15 minutes. Yum. So we'll kind of spread this all out. Especially our dates. Let me spread some of that marinade over as well. So not a ton of sauce on the pan, right? So I think that's why we made that little wine and syrup concoction. Let's pull that skin back over this drumstick. That's gonna keep it nice and moist as it cooks. Definitely want that. And then the only thing I'm gonna take out are these little pieces of bay leaf. Because as that cooks, it's not gonna break down. It's gonna stay really hard. And you definitely don't wanna serve that with it on that. So let's hope that we got enough flavor from that bay leaf in that little amount of time. But I would love to retry this recipe and marinate it for the proper amount of time next time. I think I would push it to that 2-day mark. Hey Jane Henry, how are ya? And Cookie, welcome in guys. So pomegranate molasses and some white wine. It says pour it over the chicken. So just a little bit over each piece. And obviously it's gonna run off a bit, which is why we gotta baste this about halfway through the cooking. I don't think this is gonna take very long to cook. These are pretty fat chicken drums though. Maybe 20 minutes. I think we should wait maybe a couple more minutes. We'll dress this squash up with some oil, salt and pepper. Keeping things pretty simple with our sides because we have a ton of flavor packed into our chicken. We really want that to shine. So everything else is just kind of gonna complement these flavors. We need a bowl from in here. Boy blue. Even this amount of squash looks like too much. But we got a nice big pan to cook that squash in today. So, olive oil. A pretty good amount here. We're gonna saute, so we're gonna have a high heat going on in the pan. If you don't have enough oil, that's when your vegetables will start to stick and burn to the pan. And the squash can also get dried out really easily if you don't cover it with enough oil. So another one of those times where don't be scared of the oil. I like a good amount of pepper on the squash as well. And then let's go in with a nice sprinkle of salt. I think that's good. We don't want to overdo it here. You can always add more later on. And now, kind of give that a little toss. Make sure it's all covered evenly. And now this is actually going to draw some liquid out of the squash from the salt. So you will start to notice like a nice pool of liquid in the bottom of this bowl the longer that you leave it out and don't cook it. But we're coming up to cooking pretty quick here. That's why I decided to dress it now. And kind of our last step here before we start cooking is just to get this rice going. So saffron rice. I know, guys, a pretty expensive ingredient if you buy the right stuff. Should be coming from Spain, and it should say 100% pure. This was packed in September 2015, but it's good until 2023, okay, guys? And the best part about this is you really don't need much. This is actually the stamen from a flower that is picked, so that's why it's super expensive. I forget what the actual facts are, but I think there's only like 2 or 3 stamens per flower, so that's why it's so expensive, is it takes a long time to get the saffron. Dark wolf, brats, corned beef, chicken quarters, or pulled pork. You can't decide on dinner. I was gonna say corned beef. I haven't had that in so long. Nice, hojerific. You can actually buy that at your local supermarket, but it's like 25 bucks for half of that. Yeah, exactly. It's so expensive. But it does last a long time, right? And a little bit goes a long way. So I'm not making too much rice today, guys. I think I'm only gonna make us a cup. 1 cup of jasmine rice. Which means we're going to need 2 cups of our saffron kind of tea, because we're going to mix the saffron with warm water. Rice goes in the pot. Let's pour 2 cups of warm water into a container. And then literally just a pinch of saffron, guys, as it should start to color right away. I think I'm gonna go with that. That should be lots. See how it's starting to go yellow already? Give it a little stir. And then obviously as it cooks, we'll get even more color of it out of it. But that looks pretty good to me. So, over to the stovetop now. I think we can put our chicken into the oven. Start roasting that. So one more look. Date, olive, and caper roasted chicken from Ottolenghi. We also have some garlic, some oregano, preserved lemon, and then a mixture of white wine and pomegranate syrup for a glaze. So 400 Fahrenheit oven. I'm gonna do 10 minutes and we'll check it at that point. You do corned beef since New England won the Super Bowl. Nike with the jokes today. You want to make a seafood boil for the waifu on Valentine's. Do it up, man. I've always wanted to attend a seafood boil, but I've never had that experience yet. So rice on like medium-high heat. We're gonna toast that up first before we put the liquid into there. It'll give us a little bit more nutty flavor to our rice, and it also helps it become more fluffy as it cooks. You got so much hate all week and you really didn't say much. Who cares, man? You're allowed to stand up for what you believe in. So look at how yellow this is now. Kind of looks like urine, doesn't it? So stirring the rice a little bit. Every couple of seconds to get an even toast on there. While we're waiting, I'm gonna get the pan out for our squash. Yeah, now you can talk out of your butt. So a big heavy cast iron pan is what we're going with today for our squash. And we are going to use the lid. So it's gonna be kind of like a saute / steam. Because squash is pretty tough, right? It's a hard vegetable. So we wanna get the color on the outside nicely caramelized, but we also want to make sure that the inside is cooked. And we're kind of timing everything out with our chicken, right? Yeah, love that movie. I actually dressed up as Ace Ventura for Halloween once. I did like the whole hair swoop when I had short hair. I know, shocking, guys.
Did you show me a photo of that? I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great. A little bit of gelato. Okay, this rice is starting to smell nutty, so that's one of those cues where I think it's time that we pour in our liquid. And we should get a pretty heavy kind of sizzle boil when we pour in our saffron tea, let's call it. Perfect. So 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of liquid. We're gonna cover that up and let it come up to a boil. I'm actually just gonna quickly go to the bathroom, guys. I'm gonna ask Sammy to hold down the fort for these couple of seconds. So hold tight and we will carry on with lunch. Can you just please make sure that the rice doesn't go over?
Yeah. Rice, rice, baby. Na, 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 na. Snacks. She need to eat her treat. I made a good treat. How's everyone today? It's starting to become a little sunny out right now, which is good. The garden boxes are sweating a little bit, so that means they're not frozen. Hi Jane, how are you? Caitlin's just in the bathroom. Yeah, so I got 2 weeks off. That's fun. Finding out the rest of the New York stream. And just relax, I guess. Get ready for the next job. Rice is still doing good. Nothing's wrong. Oh, we have a beer to drink. I think the next job is actually going to be closer to home, so I don't have to drive 35 to 40 minutes a day, and there's no chance of the road being closed because of an accident or snow or mostly anything natural that can cause a road to stop. It can happen because we only have one way in, one way out, and the other way is 2.5 hours away around. So yesterday I didn't want to go because I didn't want to get stuck in the city.
Sorry guys, the coffee is clearing me out. Where's the next job? Nikki says. Okay, rice is boiling. We're just gonna prop the lid open like that. And let's turn on our pan for sauteing the squash. Because this is all gonna happen pretty quickly here. I wanna get this pan nice and hot. And you know what guys, my favorite fat to cook squash in is actually coconut oil. It's so good. I think the flavor is way better than like olive oil or even of grapeseed oil. So coconut oil, that's what we're going into in our squash pan. Just a touch. I know we dressed the squash with some olive oil. Just like a tablespoon worth. That's really all we need. It goes so nice and nutty.
Ooh. So we have a Twa Dogs. Oh, it's over here. We have a Twa Dogs raspberry kolsch.
Sorry, he's focusing on me.
I don't know. Boom.
I'll just hide behind Sammy. The camera's like, I am here for Kate.
This is said beer.
Ooh, wow. Raspberry ale, guys.
This is yours.
Is a kolsch an ale or a lager? What's our description here?
You go. You can read.
Nice color, though. Anytime a beer is this color, it's like you know it's going to be nice and drinkable. So it says Melody, which is the name of this beer. A song of summer love. Robert Burns wrote Red, Red Rose for the love of his life, a poem that brings together the song of summer, but also of enduring love, a union that can never be split, and a promise that he will go to the ends of the earth should they ever be apart. The melody can be your summer love, for the Twa Dogs are here to stay, and the melody shall return.
It's super light. Like super light. Like it finishes off super crisp. And then you get the notes of the raspberry. It's almost a cider.
Almost hit that line, guys. Almost. Oh, wow. It's not overly sweet, though.
No.
Nice tart raspberry flavor. Okay, 26 seconds on our chicken. And we might just broil the chicken once it's close to being done, just to get some color on the skin. Crispy chicken skin, that's where it's at.
Those walnuts are tasty.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
For now.
Let's check it out, guys. Have a look-see. Smells so good, hey?
Oh yeah.
There's not too much to baste here, but let's try. Let's give this a try. Could be difficult. Down for the challenge, though. Kind of tilt this. See what happens. I think the other thing that we could do, you know what's going to save us time by basting? Why don't we just do this? Because the underside was cooking in the liquid, right? So if we flip that over, you can see how dark it is already underneath. So it's already started to absorb some of that pomegranate syrup and the wine. So back into the oven. That was 10 minutes. I think it'll take for sure another 7 minutes. And then we'll take the temperature internally of it. Our rice almost cooked already. And that is okay. So 7-minute timer. See those little airy pockets in the rice? That's exactly what we want. So we're going to cook this until all the liquid is gone. And then we're going to take it off the heat, put the cover back on, and let it kind of steam and fluff up. And then all of the kernels will actually kind of separate from each other. Get really nice fluffy rice. Welcome in, Jane. How are ya? So as soon as you kind of start to hear the rice popping and sizzling, obviously that's your cue that the water has been evaporated and cooked in. Turn it off, cover it. We'll just switch it over to this burner. And that's that for now. So rice is done. Just waiting on the chicken. And the squash, I'm going to estimate will take around 5-ish minutes to cook. And I think I might just wash up that rest of the mustard greens in the fridge, just to kind of lighten things up here. Give a little bit of green color into our final dish. So mustard greens, this variety is called Mizuna. And it doesn't have a really strong flavor. It's got a little bit of bite, but not even as strong as arugula or rocket. We'll just give those a quick rinse. Fresh from the garden, so it definitely has some dirt and maybe even some critters in there, which we don't want. While we wait. Woo! Okay. Time to put the blinds down. As much as I want to bask in this sunlight, you guys can't see anything. The coconut oil has smelled up the whole house. So nice. Can't wait to eat, because then we can cut into our carrot cake. heck yeah. So, same as yesterday, guys. Just line up our stems all together. Then we'll start chopping from the stems and go up towards the leaves. So these stems are really nice and juicy and watery. I'm gonna go with maybe a 1/2 inch piece. And then once we get up to the leaves, you can go a little bit bigger. Just kind of fluff it up. And we'll plate that with the squash later. I'm trying to think about any other garnishes that I'm feeling, but I think we're good, guys. Okay, chicken is really sizzling. I'm gonna turn our squash pan back on, and we're gonna get that cooking. Parsley. Okay, we'll chop up a little bit of parsley. How does that sound? There's actually a lot of parsley used in Middle Eastern cuisine. So this makes sense. Like, you can't just throw a garnish onto a dish just to have it there for color. You really want to make sure that it still pairs nicely with all the flavors that you have going on in that dish. Mama's house! Thank you for the host! There's our bunch of parsley. While I'm waiting for that pan to heat up, I'm just gonna pick it off of this stem. And then we'll chop this up as the squash is cooking and the chicken is finished roasting. So we want a really hot pan. We want the squash to sizzle as soon as we put it into there. The end is nigh, my friends. Got 10 seconds coming up on our chicken. So kind of one last check. A look-see. See how things are doing. I'm gonna take the temp, the internal temp of it, just to see how much longer we need to cook this for. So thermometer, because there's a bone here, you want to go as close to the bone as possible. We're gonna go with the bigger piece of drumstick. Okay, this is at 136. So in my mind, those are done at this point. But I would like a little bit of color on the chicken. I might actually just quickly crisp up that skin in our squash pan before we fry the squash. And otherwise, this oven's gonna come off. You can see that our wine mixture has actually evaporated already, so that's cooked into the chicken. It's soaked right into there. And like the garlic is super fragrant. So really hot pan. We got coconut oil in here. There's a touch of color on the chicken skin, but I would like a little bit more. Let's just drop that in there. Shouldn't take too long. We'll just do one side. Strictly for presentation. Oh yeah. Oh no, it tore a little bit. Yum. Beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna scoop some of that out. So that might actually start to burn. And I turned the oven off. I'm gonna post the chicken back up into here for a few more minutes while we cook our squash. So pan is still hot. Squash sizzles as soon as we put it in. So see that water that we got from the squash? I'm gonna pour that in. Kind of spread this out into one even layer. Turn our pan up now to medium high. The squash is going to cool off this pan. You want to bump up that heat now. And we're going to cover it. So I'm sorry guys, but we cannot see this. We cannot watch it while it cooks. So that's why we're coming back over here, finishing up our garnishes. Frying ASMR, right, Nike? Such a good sound. We're just gonna finely chop this parsley. We'll sprinkle it on top to finish off the dish. And so what the lid on the squash is gonna do is that's gonna build up steam. So it's gonna start to steam that squash as the bottom browns it. So kind of dual cooking here is what we're doing. Check the squash in a couple minutes, or maybe even a minute from now, is you want to stir it every couple of minutes while it's in there so that you can brown all of the sides of the squash pieces. Because we're on such a high heat, right, is if we don't touch that, the bottom's gonna burn. Okay, that looks good to me for parsley. We'll just move that back over there. May I?
Yeah.
Can you please add vegetable olive oil, olive oil, and red wine vinegar to the list?
No.
What?
I don't know if I told you, so I can't.
Oh yeah, it's true. Hey guys, let's check this out. We're popping. Crazy stuff going on. We're getting some color. Nice caramelization on the squash. It almost smells like orangey, like citrusy. It's still pretty hard, so I'll cover it back up again, but now we know that we're getting a nice amount of color on there. Nothing's burning. Chicken's gonna come out to rest now. And stay out like this until we go to plate. We are almost there, guys. Wow, it smells good in here. Hey, Sammy?
Sure does.
Smelling real nice. We got our plateware out. Check this one more time. I'm going to test the squash for doneness. And I might just finish cooking it uncovered. Chicken looks delicious. Thanks, Gick and Ray. I'm really excited to try it. I haven't even tried a piece yet. Oh, camera died. What? Really? What are you talking about?
It's only online.
Guys, are we in sub-only chat? I don't have anything on here that says that. Okay, don't think so. Thanks, Vegan Gelato. Okay, testing this squash. Really hot. Look at that color, guys. Unreal. So the squash is a little bit sweet, but I think it needs more salt to contrast that sweetness, and then we'll get more of that sweet flavor. But it is lacking a little bit on the seasoning. And I actually think by the time we finish seasoning this, it's going to be overcooked. So we'll just turn that off now. Turn the burner off. Sprinkle a little bit more salt over top, and we'll give it a stir. But if I stir this too much more, is the little squash pieces are going to start to fall apart. And that is not what I want. So disperse our seasoning. Try one more little piece. Post that up there. Rook is still here. Thanks for that clarification, guys. We got two mamas in here. but super tasty. Okay, plate up time. Yeah, there's only one of you, Mama. It's Mama and Mama.
What is looking pretty good in New York right now?
So yeah, it does taste similar to other winter squash. And the best part is that we can eat the skin. So that's usually where all the healthy stuff is in vegetables and fruits. So for us to not peel that, that's better for us. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit starchy, and kind of a little bit of acidity as well. Quite a nice squash though. So I like to cook my squash not mushy, so it has just a touch of bite to it. I should do the bean boozled beans for bits. Man, everyone's doing that though. I can't be another one of those people, Nike. I don't think I can. So our saffron rice. We let that steam up on the stovetop. It's nice and fluffy now. So we'll start plating with a scoop of that in the bottom of our bowl. Beautiful color. Kind of let that fall naturally into the bowl. Yeah, everyone's doing the bean boozled. As fun as it looks, I don't know. I need to think of something else creative to get biddies for. Yeah, plus some of the beans are just foul. I can't imagine having like a barf bean and then having to taste the food that I'm cooking. Like, to me, that would be so gross. Can't mess with our palate like that. Like, there's no gum allowed in kitchens. Never mind jelly beans. Okay, nice handful of our greens over top of the rice again, so that they kind of wilt down, break down a touch from the heat. And now I'm actually going to go just over to the stovetop and top this with the squash. It's true though, yeah. People do enjoy their favorite streamers being in pain.
Yeah.
I understand that. I enjoy it too, watching it. I just feel like, I don't know, that's what everyone does. And I've always been someone that doesn't like to do what other people do. So just top that with the squash. Once again, just kind of let it fall all over the place, but you can see the nice color that we got on the squash. So nice caramelization from the sugars in there. And now our chicken. Ooh. Feels like it's really juicy still. So either one chicken leg, or I'm gonna do 2 drumsticks like that. And then we also want some of these olives and dates, the capers. So just kind of toss this up, maybe get it a little bit saucy. And then we can disperse that throughout the dish as well. So some sweetness, some salty flavors. Here's another piece of bay leaf. Definitely don't want to crunch down on that.
Oh, there's a smell.
So that's how we're looking, guys. And Sammy, can you please close the blinds whenever you get a sec as well? I can't see. She's blinded. I did, but it keeps coming in. I did do capers cookie. So capers, dates, and olives roasted with the chicken. Now, last but not least, just our little sprinkle of parsley. Yeah, doggo. Just in time for the chicken, of course. She's not dumb. Sammy's bringing her in. Doggo! She does not like to be held. What are you doing? You crazy? You crazy? Hey! You're lucky we're done cooking. I'm excited for this. You've already looked up the recipe. It is in Discord. So, that's how I'm rolling with this dish. To me, this is pretty simple. I'm going to take a quick photo, and then we're going to dig in. Thanks for the biddies, Mama's house. What'd you miss? I don't know, vegan gelato. When'd you get in? Thanks, Rook. Appreciate the love, guys. Because like I said, first time for me making all of these things together, so I have no idea how this is going to taste. No idea. That's the angle. That's the one. Okay. Now we can eat. Roughly 17 minutes ago. So we made saffron rice, 1 cup of jasmine rice, 2 cups of hot water that we just put a pinch of saffron into. That colored our rice up. We kept it simple. Other than that, the chicken was roasted using this recipe here from one of my favorite Middle Eastern chefs, Ottolenghi. So there you go, guys. It's also posted in Discord. We are going to reveal the carrot cake that we decorated earlier on stream after we eat. We got to eat our lunchy first, guys. And squash just simply roasted in a cast iron pan. Salt, pepper, coconut oil. So how did we do on this chicken? Hopefully it's still juicy. Oh yeah. Whew. That's juicy for sure. It's glistening. Looks amazing. Mmm. Wow. Like, I thought with marinating it for such a short time is we wouldn't get the flavor in there. So you can clearly taste the garlic. You can taste the oregano. Maybe we needed just a pinch more of salt. But it really did penetrate the chicken quite nicely. Let me have another piece here. See if maybe the lemon comes out. I should go to Barbuto. Barbuto. I'm gonna open that up in a browser page so that I don't forget. There are so many places that we want to go to in New York though, and the sad part is that we just won't be able to get to all of them. I have come to accept this already.
That just means another trip.
Mmm. That is seriously so good. Okay, now let's try some date, some of our roasted olives with the rice. Wow. Like a really crazy, sweet, and salty and like lemony thing going on from the preserved lemons. Doggo, what you think? She's so ready. Okay, we haven't tried any of the squash yet. See how that pairs up with this. I think it's going to be amazing with the dates. A little bit of sweetness. There's Sammy's dish.
There's Sammy's
Dish.
Are the olives pitted?
The calamatas are not.
Okay, so don't crunch down on that.
No. But I think like keeping the rice and the squash really simple in flavor really lets the chicken shine. He just sees salad. We didn't even use that much of the greens. But I'm really happy with how the chicken cooked as well. Still moist, juicy, it's not dry. Maybe I would have liked a little bit more sauce, but that just means we should have bumped up maybe some of our olive oil, the wine and pomegranate molasses mixture. It's good, hey?
Chicken's tasty. Definitely need a little more salt on the chicken.
Yeah, that's what I said. More seasoning on the chicken, but it's always better to play it safe than to have it too salty at the start. So you can't really come back from that.
Like some?
I'm okay, thanks.
What's going
Clean
on?
it up.
What's going on here?
Clean it up. The rice is really good, Lidl. So saffron, not a huge strong flavor, obviously, unless you use a bunch, but then that gets really expensive. So most of the time, the saffron is just used for coloring, which is why the rice is really nice and yellow. It does have a small floral flavor to it. But other than that, I really like how the rice turned out. It's nice and fluffy. The kernels aren't all stuck together. And another note, guys, is the squash skin is really nice and soft. You don't even notice that the skin is on it still. And eating the squash with the dates, so good.
The salt together is really good. Great dish.
Mmm. When you get a hit of the preserved lemon. So the preserved lemon was not in the recipe. That was something that I added in. So I thought it would pair really well, and it does. It does pair well. Posh yawned. I love her in the background between us. Just... That is the vacuum cleaner. She's like, I'm bored. Where's the snacks, guys? Squash. Okay, I'm gonna get the carrot cake. Gonna do the cut while we're still eating. Thanks, Big Davy. Yeah, another kind of healthy meal. I've been trying to eat a little bit better lately. And it just makes me feel good. So I'm going to grab our carrot cake and we'll do the big reveal. See how we did. The pressure is on. And then obviously we get to taste it. Taste the taste. Just a touch of light. I don't know if you're ready for this. But those walnuts, still, I love the shine on them. They're like sparkling. Just gonna give a little wipe around our plate. So, making cakes, guys, usually a 2-day process to do it properly. Just keep that in mind. Otherwise, your frosting will probably melt on you. Yeah, carrot cake. We made the cake yesterday on stream. It was National Carrot Cake Day. But we had to let it cool off overnight so we could properly decorate it today. And I think it's going to be worth the wait. Sammy will have it done in 2 days. Oh, he could. I'm sure he could, Mama. Okay, once again, quick little photo.
The only problem is Caitlin won't let me.
Yeah, I won't let him, Mama. I hold him back from living his best life. It's the truth. And now to cut into it. For this, I would say probably want to heat up your knife under hot water and then wipe it off so that when your knife is hot, you'll get a nice clean cut through the frosting. You really don't want to see what happens when Sammy tells me no. Probably just do the dang thing anyways. It's like, oh, you tell me no? Probably just gonna do it.
Huh?
I do what I want. Right, Posh? Right? What you think?
No, let's have.
She's so ready for this.
Sometimes you listen.
It's true. Sometimes I listen. Sammy got a hot knife. This is where the walnuts fall everywhere, guys. Destruction. Are you ready for this?
Maybe go a little higher on that knife. I don't know why.
The knife was not hot. Shh. Yeah, hurry, Big Davy. Hurry. We're gonna have leftovers for like a solid week. Probably gonna bring some of this to work and share it.
There you go.
Thank you. Did I share that clip you did on IG yet? I have not yet, Nike. No, I was really lazy yesterday. I didn't post too much stuff. Okay, we're gonna have to like carve out these candied walnuts because they're just rock hard. We're gonna go through sawing it down. Holy shit. Oh no. Ugh. There's a lot of nuts and fruit in here. Makes you work for it. Okay. We got one slice. I cut through this side. The knife couldn't even reach the other side. Sammy's gonna rinse it one more time. There's no way you would share it, Mama. It's yours. All yours.
If you gave me that pecan pie, you could have that entire thing. No problem.
Yeah. Not even Papa would have any? Wow. You must really love carrot cake then. I do as well. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna turn this back to me.
Good photo-worthy slice.
A photo-worthy slice, Sammy says. What does that even mean?
Not a slice for you. A photo-worthy slice.
Not a slice for me, he says. Says it's gonna be too small. Okay. Okay.
What plate do you want?
Oh, just a small white one, I think. That's a slice. What's that, like 1/6 of the cake? You would hide it. Just hide the cake. You won't even know it's there. Okay, the reveal. Are we ready, guys? Nike, you gonna clip this one too, please? You're my clip star. Oh, goodness. Oh, I don't think I cut it all the way through on the inside, guys. You tore it up. So, that's what happens when you don't cut all the way through. But, if I hold it up, you can see the layers. I think we should have let this sit even longer. And then you would get nice clean cuts through your layers. Because you can tell that the cake is soft, the icing is soft, so it's kind of just smushing together when you cut it. But nonetheless, it's still going to be delicious when we eat it. But if you're going for photo worthy, gotta let these things rest. They take time. And yes, it is cream cheese icing.
You want to put that back in the fridge?
Sammy says he's gonna put it back in the fridge for us, but I'm pretty proud of that.
Looks awesome.
You can kind of see the layers there, but obviously you can see where I didn't quite cut. Otherwise, this should be here. And orange zest. Orange zest Lidl with maple candied walnuts. Yesterday was National Carrot Cake Day. Okay, this side looks pretty nice. Thanks, Nike. I appreciate that. And now, I've been waiting since yesterday to try this. Is it worth the wait? That is the question. Now you're craving it. You might have to make one soon. Yeah, you totally should. Here is the recipe that I used. If you want to take a look at it. Okay, guys. We got a little piece of candied walnut in there. Going in for a good bite. Dessert before I finish lunch? Sure. Sammy says he wants it.
No, you get the first bite.
Okay.
You made it. No, I'm gonna try it. Seen the facial expression.
That's a moist cake. It's not overly sweet either. I love the crunch from the walnuts. Holy smokes. My drops. It is kind of cruel, isn't it?
That could be better than the pecan pie.
What?
I'm not saying I like it more, but I think that might be better. I might have to marry the guy.
It's his mom's recipe.
Oh, definitely. I'll just tell his mom. You can have the son. I'll just go for the mom.
That's it. Mine looks better than the one on the photo. Shh, don't tell him. Thanks, Mama's house.
Or do tell him.
Yeah, or do we tell them? So definitely a good amount of carrots. Like there's 3 cups of shredded carrots in here.
That's delicious.
This is like chocked full. We got walnuts, shredded carrots, pineapple, raisins, and dried cherries.
You have to use raisins as well?
I didn't even have to use any cranberries. Yeah, Sammy, stop. Pecan pie is better than life. The fact that this made him question that, though, makes me happy.
I didn't say that pecan pie wasn't great. I'm just saying that this is comparable to the pecan pie that you made. Pecan pie is still my heart.
Yeah, but this, obviously a heavy slice of cake. When we weighed this cake, 5.5 pounds. Guys.
So that slice is probably a good 6 ounces, 7 ounces.
Would I eat this for breakfast? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
100%.
If you are thinking about that. Holy smokes. Yeah, you're baked like that cake though, Nike. You would so love this. Just call you space cake. Okay, so that's the stream, guys. That's it. We're there. We made it. We made our cake. We made our lunch. I'm going to finish that after the stream. Just checking out Belly. If you guys have any suggestions on who to raid, let me know.
Daily Dasher.
Daily Dasher?
Yeah.
You just spell that all in one word?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. We already have someone to raid. Yes, Nike. You're up to 3 grand. Getting back up there, man. So guys, thank you for all of the resubs today. We had a crazy resub day. I think we had like 7. One of those resubs was 12 months, so congrats. We are hitting those 1-year resubs. Thank you so much for that, guys. Seriously, when I started doing this, never thought that I would get to this point. So just another proof that you want to give up in life, just keep going. Just keep going. People will support you. People care about you. So tomorrow, great question, Nike. What's the stream schedule? Tomorrow we are cooking dinner. It's Tuesday. How about some tacos? Taco Tuesday. Let's do this. We're gonna make homemade tortillas. We are making fish tacos, so beer battered fish tacos with some cabbage, some creamy salsa verde, and maybe we'll even throw some tequila in the mix. Tequila and tacos on a Tuesday. I'm gonna be starting at, I think 3 p.m. PST tomorrow. Sounds good, you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Seems like the sun is coming out for us today, so yay, the snow is gonna melt. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for all the love today, guys. It was a really fun stream, and hopefully I taught you a little bit of new stuff or inspired you to cook for yourself at home. Thanks, guys. Take care. What was that guy's name? Daily Dasher?
Yeah.
Going into a new streamer. Spreading the love on Twitch. Let's grow this community. Get your onions ready. Thanks, guys. Daily Dasher. Where are we going? Nobody knows. Okay, guys. Love you all. See you tomorrow.